Hello, everybody. This is Jiffy Tadatal, and you all know me. And today is a very big and special day for me because I am here interviewing an author who is also my aunt, and she is the author of the book Pearls. So, welcome, Mrs. Saly Luckose. Welcome to this interview with me. I'm so happy to have you here. So, before we start, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Saly Luckose, and a retired Indian military nursing officer. I'm a mother, and now I'm living in UK with my husband and extended family. And Pearls is my book. I'm glad that Pearls is my book.
Yes, I am so happy and glad that it happened. I have to say that, I haven't read one book in a stretch. Amazing. Let me tell you, you did a good job. All right, so
Thank you.
before I ask you more questions, can I know why pearls? Out of all the topics, why pearls?
Do you know, GP, how pearls are formed? Pearls are formed inside an oyster.
Oyster.
And to form pearls inside the oyster has to go through a lot of pains and a lot of stress, a lot of hits. And that is how the most beautiful pearls are formed inside the oyster. When you read through my articles, you would have realized that every chapter gave birth to a pearl, but through pains. Each of those incidents have was a painful incident, actually, and each of those painful incidents have brought out a valuable pearl of wisdom and insight into life, which I would like to impart with people who reads my book. And there are so many people who go through the contemporary pains while living.
Mhm.
And this book can be an inspiration to many of those people to go through that pain, to wait for the pearl to come out.
That was one feeling that I had as I read your book. All right, Mrs. Sally. So you've been writing all these articles, and there should be one force or one person behind who actually pushed you to write this into a book or like publish it, right? Do you have somebody like
Yes.
that in your family, in your friend circle, anywhere?
Yes. It's my daughter and her husband, Jabesh. My
Oh,
son-in-law actually took all the initiative, in in encouraging me to make all my articles into a book. I've had a small accident last year, so I was on the bed for a while, and they
okay.
thought that this is a time Mama should be kept occupied with something like this, and so they have worked hard on it, and then that's how it became a book.
They didn't want empty mind to be a devil's workshop. They wanted you to be occupied. They
Could
put in
be.
a lot of things into your
Yeah,
brain to
surely.
work
And
on.
that really helped me in my recovery. That I was busy with it. And so, that really helped me in my recovery, I should say.
Well, you didn't have to run around. You had time to sit and put your
Yes,
brain to work. Perfect
yes. The time was ordained for, this
for
book to
that
be
purpose.
on. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, going through this book, we read about how you've been as a mother, how you've been as a nurse, how you've been as a soldier,
Mm.
right? So when we look at your motherhood phase, there was this story about a wonderful answer. So that was the time when you were away from the kids, and there were only land phones at that time and no cell phones. And you literally asked God, why can't somebody invent a mobile phone where you can actually talk wherever you are? And today we live in a world where there are different sizes and shapes of it. And
Yes,
not just that, when you were traveling from point A to point B, that took 3 days for you to travel, and then you didn't have food for your mother or your kids. And there was one person who actually turned
yes,
out to be an angel,
yes,
carrying food for the whole family for
yes,
three
yes,
days. Like, who can imagine something like that happening,
yes,
right? And
yes,
then when you look into a nurse's role, that's my favorite. Like you had an opportunity to take care of pediatrics, the adults, the geriatrics, and even palliatives, right? So when you look into the pediatrics, for a child, a Barry candy, it's a huge thing. Like a child would only remember the nurse who gave him the candy,
yes,
not the nurse who actually gave him an IV injection.
yes,
And the same way, there was a story about a stroke patient, a husband and a wife, the husband who had the stroke, and the wife had to take care of the patient. And
yes,
then how much confidence you poured into their life for them
yes,
to actually come back to the ward to come see you, like
yes,
literally walking in crutches, trying
yes,
to get back to their life. And there
yes,
was also a story of like how a person was on the deathbed, trying to be united in peace with his family members.
yes,
And then you were an active acting force or like a glue who actually glued that family
yes.
together.
Yes,
And
yes,
you also spoke about organ donations,
yes,
right? There were so many stories that
yes,
me as a nurse could connect and me as a mother could connect.
yes,
Actually, when I go reading your book, I wanted to ask you one question. I even folded up this page. His faithful love.
yes.
Okay. And the very next page, I love you, Sal. Is that real? I'm sure you also mentioned how, like, your son Alvin's friends actually went there and had a look at this place.
Yes, yes.
Is that real?
Yeah,
I'm still
it is.
asking you, is that real?
It is true, and I say it's a miracle. It's a miracle, and this miracle is out of His love for me, God's love for me. So I was so desperate walking through a path. I still remember it was right in front of Chennai Airport,
Mhm.
under a bridge. I was just walking, taking the shade of it in the hot sun, and I have written in the book. I kept questioning God, where is some love for me? I want to listen to the word that I love you. And as I have mentioned that though I
Mhm.
am Sally, those who love me so much, I mean, my great friends, they call me Sally. So I was asking God, tell me, who's going to tell me I love you, Sal? I want to listen to it. I was so desperate. As I was walking, I found few slabs on the way, and I'm crossing each slab. Each slab I'm crossing and talking to God in my mind, and I'm crossing, and I'm finding on most of the slab something or the other thing is written. And when I crossed one, I felt like to turn back and see what is written. I did not read it when I was crossing it. I came back to it. Let me read what it is written, and then I found it was written, "I love you, Sal." Oh God.
Every time, because when you go through the worst situations,
Yeah,
that's when God will show things like this.
yeah.
And you truly saw that right there.
Yeah, I truly
And it's
saw
there
that. And
forever.
yeah, and I even thought that if I saw, did I see the right thing? Did I read the right thing? So I went home. Evening, I called my daughter when she came from the school. I said, let's go and see there. It's just walking distance from home. So she went and she said, ah, Mama, it's written, I love you, son.
Sure.
And then my son came from college with his friends. I took them. I said, read it and tell me. Is it that? And then I had few friends. I took them also. I said, read this. Isn't that, did I read something wrong? They said, wow, this is written that only. So I took a photograph of that. And, one of the friend of my son was telling, Auntie, you must buy this slab. I said, no,
How much ever it costs, right?
how much ever it costs, it is yours. You must buy this. Such incidents, such incidents, you should not ignore. I should tell the world about it. The way how God cares for you,
Yeah.
and how He cares every moment of your life. He is in control. He knows.
Yeah. Oh my God. See,
Yeah.
there's still the tears coming.
Yeah. Even me.
That was amazing. That was the best. I mean, like every stories are the best, but that like literally made me cry. Yeah. Reading again through this book,
Hmm.
another thing what I felt was like everybody's got a family of origin and then a family where they belong.
Yeah.
Right? Family of origin is definitely our family, our parents, our siblings, our in-laws, and everybody. But
Hmm.
other than that, as you were posted in different parts of the country,
Yeah.
you made your own
Yeah.
family of where you belong.
Yes.
And those are definitely your friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
what is friendship to you?
We all keep hearing a phrase that a friend in need is friend indeed,
Of course,
isn't
yes.
it? And by the grace of God, I should say that, every time when there was a need, God would bring a very good friend to me. Army life or else defense life is that you're not placed at one place every 2 to 3 years. You're posted to a different place where you are new to everybody else and everybody else is new to you as well. And so we are tuned to help and to take help as well. See, everyone is helpful. Everyone would have helped. So many people would have helped you. But the situations where these people have helped me to the level which is quite unusual, and it is mentioning all that is probably one way of showing my gratitude to those
Oh.
special ones, and I feel proud of them. As yes, as you said, they still stay as families to me.
There will be people in life who are there for you when you have everything. And
Yeah.
when you have nothing, there won't be people beside you.
Yes.
Right. And I'm sure you would have seen that
Yeah.
throughout your life. When somebody's successful, okay, there's everybody there praising
Yeah.
your success. But
Yeah.
when you're going through a tough time, there will be nobody to lend you a helping hand. Right. So
Yeah.
as you go through your life, how have you seen criticisms or rejections?
I did go through a lot, as you rightly said. You know, there are people who can act out to be friends. They are very happy when you are very upset, and they're not very happy when you are very happy. There are
I
different
know.
types of
Yeah,
friendship.
yeah.
So, but there are people who doesn't show that they are your great friends. But when you face a problem, a situation where you need a hand, they are there. So there are all of us in this world go through different types of such friendship.
Hmm.
Now you asked me about the criticism, how you take it. I will say that life is something like that. There is always there is some people on the other side of the rope in a tug of war. In the same way, you also have such kind of people, which I take, which of course I take with a pinch of salt and pains. But still, when you generally think about it, it is there. Gandhiji, who has won the freedom for
The
us,
country.
is still criticized. Is still criticized, and they have a reason for that.
Yeah,
Critics
yeah.
have a reason for that. Mother Teresa, whose whose deeds are something most exemplary and exceptional, she's also been criticized, and the critics have some reason to say about it. Forget about everything else. How about Lord Jesus Christ? Throughout the Bible, is there any one reason why you need to criticize him?
I know. I
He
know.
gave up himself. He only did good thing. He only loved. He loved to the extent where he gave up his life. Even on the cross, he forgave those who have persecuted him. Such a good heart.
I know.
God himself is being still persecuted.
I know.
So, I mean, no one is spared. If someone is spared, that person is less seen, or else they're less good, I will say. With their end, everything is ended.
Yeah.
But good ones will go on till the end of the world. I think so, on the other side of the rope as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. When one person ends, all his legacy ends too. But for some people, it continues, right?
Yes, yeah.
Was it all for me, dear?
Mm,
And you know what I mean,
I know, I understand.
right?
Yeah.
Really, you need to talk about it.
Yeah, it was the love of a servant family. Nobody is small in your life. Everyone has their own role in your life. It can, in the worldly eyes, it could be from the lowest, or it could be from the highest also. But yeah, that is the story you can read there. And uh, yeah, it's the love of a servant's family.
Yeah.
And after so many years, when I wrote this article, Alvin flew from Punjab to Jodhpur.
Oh, really? To see them?
Yeah, to see them. He's
I
so
was, that was my
handsome.
next question. Did,
Ah,
did anybody meet them again? Oh my
yes,
God.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Alvin was small at that time, but by now, he really flew from Punjab to Jodhpur, and he found out where they live through his own sources and things like that. He went to their family, and he hugged her and gave her such tight hugs. They sent me pictures after that. I can't forget them. How they made me. You can read that. What is
Some
their deed?
people come into your life for a reason,
Yeah, there's a
right?
reason why
There's
each one.
nobody who would pass through your life for nothing. There's always a reason why your eyes click or when your hearts click. There's
Yes,
always a reason for everything.
yes,
Nothing is accidental.
yes,
Nothing.
yes, yes.
Okay, you met them. Did you meet Usha and Jatara?
Not me. Alvin flew down to meet them after I wrote. Yes, I told you.
Oh,
Alvin flew down. I told
Alvin
you.
must have taken a lot of flights after the
Yes,
book
yes.
came out, right?
He just could not resist, but he went and met them. And it was such a huge surprise to them also. So
How's their family doing now?
good. All those little ones whom are grown up, they're all married, having children.
That's how old the story is?
Yeah, that's how all
Oh,
the
I was
story
literally
is.
thinking they would have had kids, like raising kids, busy in their life.
No, no, no.
Being an army nurse, I'm sure our whole country, Indians always cannot forget the Pathankot incident,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You being there as a live personnel at that incident
Mm,
and being an army officer,
mm.
how did you feel it or what went through your mind during that time?
if you ask me what went through my mind at that time, number one is fear.
Of course.
Of course, you can't say that I was very courageous to watch everything and to go through everything. Surely there is some great amount of fear. And second thing is that you ask you ask yourself and to the world in your heart of heart that why? What is the requirement? Why? If few gets killed, does a country get over? What is the need of killing one another when you have everything to live there, when I have everything to live here? We are all here to take up a journey of maximum 100 years. Out of that, 50 to 60 years is all what is productive in our life. And why don't we enjoy living by loving our neighbors, each other? So that question comes to you, why? What do you gain out of all these? That was the feelings which went through. And the second thing is that when you watch these things, your respect for the soldiers that rises like anything. So what I say is that going through such incidents and being blessed to be a nurse for military personnel, I just want to tell you, Jiffy, that we have to respect a soldier, irrespective of the rank they hold. If they wear that uniform, you simply salute them. They deserve it. I always say they are there. That is why we are here.
That is true. That is true.
They are there. That is why we are here.
Yeah.
Just salute them. They deserve it. They deserve that respect. That's what I want to talk about such situations, or about a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
They are not simply soldiers. I once told to somebody who was asking me that they're not simply soldiers, they are guardian angels who's guarding your life while you're asleep, during the day, throughout your life, they are guarding. So just salute and respect a soldier in whichever uniform he is, Army, Navy, Air Force, in whichever rank he is, they are there. That is why you are here.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
Okay, now the world is actually going through a lot of uncertainties as we are talking about the war. There's Ukraine-Russia war, there's the Israel, Iran, US, everybody getting into the war, and like a lot of people are literally feeling and seeing it, seeing
Mhm.
themselves pass by, seeing it fall on themselves out on the floor. Like it's very scary now as we are talking. Nothing is safe, right?
Yes.
So even though we say you are happy on your end and I'm happy on my end, even though we talk and preach about being humans or humanity or having love for one another, we
Mm.
still need a soldier to protect us.
Yes.
So what is your take on the current situation, the current affairs? What is your take on this?
Everything should end up for peace. Live and let live should be the policy of at individual level, at the community level, at the country level, at the national level, at every level. As I told you before, I wish live and let live. But if there is always a threat coming from one side,
Mm,
then one has to deal it.
yeah,
You can't go on living under the threat of someone.
that's true.
One has to deal it. In that dealing, we as normal people standing away and watching things can only wish and pray that may there be no war and may peace prevail. May
Mhm.
everyone live their full lifespan, but God has ordained in their life. And may this threat, what we give it to each other, may, end and live and let live at every level. That's all. Of course, feeling very sad at every moment to see someone dying. That's it. That someone who's dying is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's wife, somebody's husband. Loss is not good in any country, but this threatening each other and all that should be stopped. Brotherhood may come up between countries.
Yeah,
That's your wish.
that's
That's your
something that
wish,
we
but does that
always,
happen?
I
That's
know.
all we wish.
Yeah,
May it
yeah,
happen. May it
yeah.
come.
Like as you were talking, you
Yeah.
said respect the uniform. It can be any position,
Yeah.
right? High or low,
Yes.
right? It can be anybody.
Yeah.
Salute them because they deserve it,
Yes.
right? You know what? That actually brought me to another chapter of the book.
Yeah.
How you treated a beggar,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So
Yes.
what made you think so deep and think different?
You see, she behaved different. So I should say that in every category of people, there are genuine and fake ones.
Of course.
Yeah. And so even in that category, you find genuine people. And I thought I should write few words about that incident, where I find genuineness and gracefulness even in beggars. So I put it up. That's all.
Abortion is very easy, right?
Yeah.
Like this, people think about abortion and people do it. But
Yeah.
to keep that gift of your womb is hard for a lot of people, right? And when going through that first marriage and then being hard and then getting pregnant and still having, deciding to have that child, blessed is the fruit of thy womb,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And she's your daughter, Alvina.
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
talk about it?
Yes. By writing this, I was I just want to tell the people that life is a gift of God. It is a life comes only with the decision of God. And
Mhm.
so many times the circumstances tell you that we don't want to bring that life into this world. So many times it may be because of any reasons. But even I too went through that. I went for abortion because my life circumstances were not favorable to bring another one more life on earth. But something changed, and I brought her to this world. She came, and how beautiful it is. She was, you, when you read through my article, you know that her life in my life has proved a gift. With her more, my life became complete. So, message is that life is a gift of God, and giving birth is our responsibility to cooperate with God's decision to bring
Mhm.
a life on this planet. And so, when you do that, there is going to be a lot of joy, and any child who's any baby who could have come but is lost could have made another beautiful gem on earth, but
Yeah,
we missed the chance.
yeah,
So, future, um, we may not, we may stop killing our
that's true.
own children.
That's
We
true.
may give birth to our children. You know,
Have you ever thought something like that? Like, are you born, or do you have like a higher purpose in life? Or like when God like kept you like this, like
Mhm.
literally like this,
Yes,
did you
yes.
ever feel that, or what just went through your mind when situations like that crossed your life?
See, to be very frank, when I was going through such situations, I only wanted to see my next day safe. I was just going through one day at a time. I did not think about higher purpose and all that. But when I crossed through many of those situations, then I know that it is unusual. This way of life pattern is not everyone's cup of tea. It is it it is a gift to many, because I will say that pain is also a gift, difficulties are also a gift.
Mhm.
you know it is not easy to be trained to be a soldier. It is just like that. It's a difficult, tough training. Everyone don't have to go through that. If you have to be a soldier, you have to go through that tough training. So when you go through those high tough trainings, then I think it is a call to think that you have a higher purpose. Withstand it, go through it, and with the help of God, be strong and come out of it. And you are going to show that your pain was for purpose.
That's true. See, when you're in the army, you use, as you said, you have to go through high intensity training. But being physically strong and being mentally strong are two separate things. Not everybody is both physically and mentally strong. Like how a bread is made, it has to go through a lot of process, or how a butterfly evolves, it
Yes,
has to go through a lot of process,
yes,
right?
yes.
It's not easy. And I'm sure you had to go through a whole physical and mental metamorphosis to evolve to how
Yes,
beautifully you are sitting here today,
yes, yes.
right?
You're right.
So, right. Another thing, like we spoke about abortions. Now, talking about parenting. So
Yes.
today, this world talks about gentle parenting. I'm sure when I was young, it was not gentle parenting, it was corporal punishments. And
Mhm,
then as I grew up, then it became timeouts. Okay,
mhm,
you get a timeout, you
mhm.
know? And then now everybody talks about gentle parenting. But then when I read through this book, Alvin, your son, has
Mhm.
gone through strict, strict parenting.
Yes.
And when I know his life,
Mm.
He's become what he is today, and you clearly say that it's because of your way of punishing him. How do you compare gentle parenting versus punishing your kids at the right time?
See, theoretically, today, let me tell you that when I see my daughter and my daughter-in-law bringing up their children with
Mhm.
that gentle parenting,
Oh,
I feel
yes.
like I have one more child to bring up. But, it is not, well planned or designed way of bringing up a child, especially by a single parent who has to meet both the ends. And at that time, you can't, I could not discern that, oh, this parenting is good or that parenting is good. I just met the need of the hour at that time. And I always experienced some kind of a fear in me that, children should not go astray. And because I am away mostly on work, and then, there are so many reasons why their thoughts can go
Yeah.
astray.
Mhm.
So, along with all my prayers and my hard work, uh, sometimes, he required probably spanking or whatever, like scolding, whatever. It was a bit harsh. Uh, Whereas my daughter did not have to go through all that. Probably by seeing Alvin getting punished many times,
She
she
probably
was very
molded
cautious.
herself.
She did not want to get punished, so she was always an obedient baby. So I didn't have to beat her. I didn't have to spank her. But I used to feel sorry after that. But when he grew up, also, like Alvin, when he passed out from GC to a commissioned officer at Indian Military Academy, and he was declared as a medalist.
Okay.
And he told me one sentence, Mama, your sticks worked. So that was amazing to me, because I mostly used to carry some amount of guilt, at least. Oh, did
Mhm.
I punish him more than I should have? But he told me that that was required, and I still remember when he came for my retirement party. He gave a small speech, and actually he cried. He couldn't hold his emotions, and he said that it was easy, not at all easy for to bring up a child like me. I was a child with all around energy, and how she kept me so well controlled, and to be a good human being today I am, and I am proud of that, is her parenting, which
That's a
sometimes
lot of
required
insight.
stick. But no parents do anything to harm a child.
Yeah.
It is to help a child and to help yourself, and to see that he is happy in future. So I don't know. I think gentle parenting looks very nice. That is, even Bible says
Yeah.
that do not spare a rod when it is needed.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
not bad, and so that you don't have to see your children getting attacked by others.
That's true. Yeah. And then your children, they actually were with you through thick
Mm.
and thin. So they literally saw everything that you went through too, right?
Yes,
Even as an officer, as a nurse, like everything that happens,
yes,
like
yes,
they are the kids who you had to share everything to.
yes,
So
yes,
probably they knew more stories of
yes.
everything that has happened in your life. They
Yes,
saw
yes,
it
yes.
in real.
Nothing was hidden from.
Nothing was hidden
Nothing,
from them.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have a naughty question to ask. When it says, was it joy or a sweet pain?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Mm.
what do you have to tell about that?
What do you understand when you finish reading that? Because one of my reader asked me this question over the phone, and she laughed, and I had to agree to her.
What did she say?
She said, "Did you have a crush with one of that guy?"
Oh, it's like,
And in the, when in such a situation, when somebody carry you on their shoulder and walk almost a mile or two
to
to
the
the next
train station.
place, and then you really don't know who the person is and what, and later, yes, in the journey you come to know about that people, and then you develop a kind of affection for them who helped you under such situation. And I'm in my early 20s with all my dreams having its wings all over. So, and with no communication facilities of those days, you only wish for to see them again,
Hmm.
and one fine day you're seeing them, and then yeah, it was such a joy. But uh, but when I also knew this is the last time I saw them, and because when they handed over me the wedding card, that is the last thing
Yeah.
to dream or feel about it. So it was like Mills and Bones.
Right.
Something,
See, to whoever that person is,
yeah,
if you are seeing this video,
yeah.
Sally is here always thinking about you,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
That's like even this interview, in this interview, I submit my gratitude to them, and I
Yeah.
still remember them. I
Yeah.
didn't forget.
See,
Yeah, that
all
is
through
it.
your life. So there
Yeah,
were people who helped you like that,
yeah,
people that you don't even know,
yeah,
right? They literally raised you, put them on their shoulders, and
yeah.
walked that far to me and made you reach your place safe and
Yes,
secure,
yes, yes,
right?
yes.
And um, going through, okay, this, I don't know, this would be a tough question for you. So your first marriage was not a success. You had to go
Yeah,
through a lot. And
yeah.
then raising kids in your 30s all by yourself. Like that's the prime time of your life. You must have encountered a lot of men, good
Mm,
and bad,
mm.
who
Yes,
helped you and
mm.
who pretended to be nice to you and
Yes,
who were not nice to you. There were like
yeah.
so many different kind of people that you
Yes,
have
sure.
encountered in your life.
Yeah.
So as you did all this through your life, what
Mm.
is your approach towards men, or what do you think when you like a manhood, or like what is your observation or your take on it?
You mean to say, with all the experience I've been through in my personal life, do I still hate men or something like that?
Of course. So what is your perception of a
Perceptive.
man?
Yeah, yeah. See, man and woman are two genders.
Hmm.
It is not that all men are bad or all men are good or all women are bad or all women are good. I understand that we are all one soul and we are given a frame in either of the gender. So all my experience is from that soul who had a frame of, a man.
Correct.
And that doesn't mean that I I need to make a big, you know, framework in my life that men are all bad. No, I had a father who was very good. I had four brothers who have such beautiful family life and very good. My present husband, he's a very good man. I have my son, and with my extended family, another two more sons. They are too good, all three of them. They're all men.
Yeah.
So it is your encounter with your, you know, either ladies or men, whatever it is, your encounter with that particular one person.
Hmm.
That I can't generalize it. I like all men. I don't have anything against them. And that doesn't mean that all women are also good or all women are also bad. No, it is gender doesn't speak. Uh, let's not generalize, you know, the characters or attitude of genders, except their biological structure, which is through creation. And in that biological structure, there are certain attitude type also, which we keep listening and learning about in psychology and things like that.
Right.
Men are like this, women are like this.
Hmm.
Those are certain distinctions given in creation itself. I accept that, embrace it. But this attitude comes from you, beat any gender. So I love all men in my life. Yeah, I have a son-in-law who's too good, and a very good boy, who's a very good husband to my daughter, and a very good father as well. And yes, all those men in my life are all good. Some, why should we generalize? Men are all bad or something like that with one incident in your life or one person in your life. No, I don't agree with that. Yeah. I love all men. My father, my brothers, my sons, my husband, no problem.
How beautifully did you explain that? I was just, I just came straight into the camera, sitting like this to listen. Like when I asked you about your perception,
Yeah.
you literally brought in your, like, that's true, your dad, your brothers, your son, your like, you have two more sons,
Yes.
and your current husband, and
Yeah.
all the people who have
Yeah.
helped you genuinely all through your
Yeah.
life.
Yes.
Right? I know, I know. Like, plus, you know what? You have a heart that's full of love, which is why you're actually able to talk like this.
Thank you.
And that is my compliment to you.
That's very
You
true.
you are beautiful inside and out. Like as
Uh,
the more I talk to you, I just feel like, that's a very good perception. Oh,
Yeah.
why didn't I think like that? Constantly my brain is asking me a lot of questions as I'm talking to you. My next question is about motherhood. So you spoke about spanking kids,
Yeah.
right? We spoke about gentle parenting.
Yeah.
So now, if I would ask you, what are three qualities that a woman need in her motherhood?
Yeah.
What would that be?
You've asked only three qualities, isn't it?
Yeah, three important qualities, if I may ask. What would
Well, if I think about my way of bringing up and the qualities what I've had to bring up my children was number one was, I will say it as passion, prayer, and patience. Yes, that's what I
I
will
should
say.
write this down.
Passion is the love for your children. Passion for doing anything good for them. When you cook for them, when you buy for dress for them, when you sit with them for their studies, and in carrying them, and in everything, you should find passion in doing that. And then the prayers. How much ever you do for your children, you have to sit in prayers. Parenthood is a call to pray.
Mm,
Because I believe that the ownership of your child and yourself is also in God's hand. He has sent you, He has created you, and He is the owner. We are the caretakers. The parents are the caretakers of the children who's bestowed into your care. So pray all the time about them. Discuss with the giver, discuss with the owner. What is the next move? So passion, prayer, and patience, which I did not have much, but I will advise everyone, be patient. Time will take its own. Like you would have read about Alvin's, growth
yeah,
in that, one of the article, slow, late, and quiet. And that you will read about it. And patience is required. And I have really said about that, every flowers don't bloom in spring. So as every child has his own time. So patience is must. Some flowers bloom in a different season.
that's true.
So each child is different. So the three qualities what you asked me is passion, prayer, and patience. The child will grow good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like me as a mother, that's a good take. Yeah, I
Yeah.
literally wrote it down. Every time when I pray for my children,
Mm,
right, in Malayalam we say Sneham, Santosham, Samadhanam,
mm,
like rhyming words. So I
mm,
always ask God to give my kids these three virtues in life. But
mm,
even though you said you did not have a lot of patience, yes, especially when you grow your kids and
mm.
raise your kids, not everybody will be patient enough. But then now your kids are parents, right?
Yes.
And I've only met them once after they've
Yeah.
grown up.
Yes.
But the moment I spoke to them, I
Yeah.
just felt they are so patient in life.
Yeah.
Like
They
they
are.
are, like, if I can say they are matured enough, how down to earth they are and how patiently they talk.
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
agree with me?
Yes. 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 They have ensured that all those qualities I probably lack, they will have.
Yeah, that's
I,
that's a successful
Yeah,
parenthood.
yeah, that's what I told. When I see my daughters-in-law and my daughter growing, I mean, bringing up their children, I told one day my daughter-in-law that I feel like to have one more child to bring up the way how you bring up. Now I
Oh,
have time.
now we have time. Exactly.
She was laughing.
I know. But also, they are the way they talk, how so down to earth they are. I'm sure they also have the same close connection with God.
Yes, they are. They teach me, they check me for not being, very up to the standard at times. They are very close to, they have a beautiful and very close walk with God Almighty. So I feel is that, sometimes I used to tell my children also when I saw them that way, now I'm not scared to, leave
Mm.
this world because I could give you, God.
When they were kids, how did you guide them?
See, teaching prayers by hearting them, that is one way of teaching.
Hmm.
And you can only, parents have got only a certain level of influence in their prayer life. After
Yeah,
that,
after a
they
certain
have to,
age,
after a certain age, it is they who decide what to
how
do.
they want. Yeah.
So that's the time your next step prayer. So I used to tell God that I can only see what is right happening right in front of my eyes. I cannot see what is happening beyond their eyes. I can discern some amount of their thoughts,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know, with
Not
my
everything. Yeah.
parent way of
Instant.
observing, but not all. I don't know what they think. I don't know what they are going to do. I don't know what is happening to them, but you know.
Yeah.
And so when my eyes don't reach, when I can't hear, when I cannot reach them, you have to reach them. So I used to sometimes pray with, by fighting with God. My sometimes my tone is like that. I fight with him. That and I tell that I will work hard from morning till night. I'll give them good food, shelter, clothing, whatever. I can say no to myself for anything. I will give them everything, but you have to form them.
Yeah. He doesn't have a choice.
He doesn't have a
You're
choice.
fighting.
You have to form them for you.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
And for if you send them to this planet, help them to live a happy, peaceful, and a contented living. So be with them. I am with them, but be with them even beyond my eyes. That's how I used to pray. And when children becomes rebellious at certain age, you are so scared about them. So that time, all what I do is that I kneel down.
Hmm.
I kneel down and I tell God, you tell them. You can. And then somehow it works, it works.
Oh, that's the connection you have with God.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
sure the kids will have that interpersonal connection too, right?
oh,
It's beyond, yeah,
they have
beyond
an
reciting the prayers.
yeah.
They should be able to talk
Yeah,
directly to God,
yeah. It
have
is
that
a
conversation.
relationship.
Yeah.
It is not, it is a relationship you have to form with your life giver.
Yeah.
It is not about, reciting certain prayers and following certain rituals alone. That is part of the society you belong to, and you follow that. And because you belong to that society, you can't be different from others. But are you having a beautiful relationship with,
A personal
God?
connection.
That is that connection. Do you have it?
Yeah.
When you leave this world also, you have to give that to the children more than anything else.
Mm.
That's what I think so.
When somebody can say, he is the master, he gave me this child, I took care, and now he's taking him back, or he's taking her back. To be able to say that is a lot of courage. May
Yeah,
God bless your heart.
thank you. Thanks a lot.
The other question is, down the line, you've been telling a lot about your kids, Alvin and Alvina.
Mm,
So reading through the storyline, oh, what a relief.
mm,
Like, I'm just imagining my kids being a teenager, having to go through like a lot of friendships and having to tell them a lot of stories. And
mm,
there was something that was bugging them. And
mm,
at one point, they literally have to disclose some
mm,
important things
mm.
about them to their friends. And
Yeah,
the moment they disclosed that, it was a big sigh of relief.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one of the most touchy article I still treat to myself.
Mm.
Because every time when I read through that, I don't know, I cry because there are there are very less people who understand the pain of a teenager, who has something very, very sensitive like this, not able to disclose things about, not having a father, uh, but at the same time feel so pricked each time when he probably have to tell a lie. So, and what a relief he had when he had to expose it,
Yeah.
and what a beautiful acceptance he has received. Here, there are two things which I think the readers can get. Number one is the pain of children who has only one parent. And second thing, that what a relief you get when you live with truth, in your expression.
I know.
Being truthful makes you at peace and ease.
I know.
Be the outcome be any, but that's what I want to tell the readers.
Yeah. That hug that he experienced that day from
Yeah.
his friends, I'm
Yes.
sure that will be a moment that nor Alvin or his friends will forget for the rest of their life. That
No.
just brought them closer
Yeah.
forever, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to add?
Oh, nothing. I really thank you, Jeffrey, for this beautiful interview and help me, open my heart. And I hope all my readers get this and may many more people read this book and may they enjoy it the way how you enjoyed it.
Of
And
course,
that's
yes.
it.
That
Yeah.
will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this has happened at his time,
Yeah.
God's time, everything else will follow.
Yeah.
And I think this whole interview was so meaningful for me, and I hope it was very productive for you too. But before I let you go, I have one final question.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Sure, sure.
So, why do you want someone to read your book?
My book is a gift, actually, a gift to everyone, everyone, especially those who go through a contemporary situations which I went through. This book is full of hope, and it is an essence of, it is an essence out of wisdom. And this wisdom is out of pains. Pain sharpens your wisdom. That's what, in my experience, I could make out. And that sharpened pain with wisdom gives insight. Recently, one of my daughter's friends, she called and told her that she had been going through a lot of problems, almost contemporary to what I went through. But this book has strengthened her and kept her in hope. So my daughter called me up and she says that, Mama, these are the reviews coming up. I said, yeah, that's what I wrote it for. And if it reaches to all people all over the world, and because life is same for everybody, pain is same for everybody, be it any culture or any place,
Yeah,
hope and insight into life.
that's true.
Just, just, just beware that God is with you.
That is so true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's hope and
yeah,
it will give you strength to
yeah,
move on. Like
yes,
I'm sure your life is now blessed
yeah,
beyond measure. You are in
yeah,
a happy place, a safe place, and
yeah,
you are enjoying your retired life. And I hope
yeah,
this book reaches as many people in this world.
yes, yes.
And thank you so much for writing this. And may God continue to bless you, guide you, protect you, and your family throughout. Thank you so much, Mrs.
Thank
Sally, for being here in the interview. And I hope you have a very blessed day and a
thank you
year
so
ahead.
much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Nice talking to you.
Same here.